By the end of this video, you will be able to say exactly where the 28 days comes from, what your report of thorough examination has to contain, and whether your own maintenance team is allowed to carry out the examination on lifts you maintain. 3 questions the UK lift trade answers wrongly every week. Ask 10 people in UK lift maintenance how quickly a report of thorough examination must reach the duty holder, and most will say 28 days. They are broadly right about the practice and wrong about the source. And the source matters when something goes wrong and the document is being read back to you by somebody with legal training. The 28 days does not sit in the regulation. It sits in the approved code of practice, L113, at paragraph 359. What regulation 10/1B clause actually says is that the report must be given as soon as it is practicable. Those two things behave differently. A guidance figure in an ACOP is a strong benchmark. Depart from it and you have to be able to show you achieved something at least as good. A regulation is a duty. As soon as the practicable means that if your examiner completed the examination on Tuesday, wrote it up on Wednesday, and your office sat it on the 3 weeks because nobody was chasing, you have not met the duty simply because you landed inside 28 days. So the practical instruction is treat 28 days as your outer limit, not your target, and be able to show the date of examination and the date of issue separately. If your system only records one date, you cannot demonstrate compliance with the regulation. You can only demonstrate compliance with the guidance. Second thing, and I want to be blunt about it, there is no such thing as a LOLER certificate. I have seen documents titled LOLER certificate with borders and a seal, handed to building managers who file them and feel covered. Ask whoever produced it, which regulation created that certificate. There isn't a one. What LOLER produces is a report of thorough examination. That is the document. That is its name, and the difference is not pedantry. A certificate implies a pass. A report records what was found, including defects that are not yet dangerous but will become dangerous with time scales. That second category is the whole value of the document to you as an operator. And it is exactly what gets lost when the thing is reduced to a certificate somebody files. Schedule 1 sets out 11 particulars that the report has to contain. 11. Go and count how many of your current template carries it. In my experience, the ones that go missing are the boring identifying ones. The precise identification of equipment, the date of the last thorough examination, the date by which next examination is due, not the dramatic one. The ones that makes the document usable 2 years later when nobody involves still works there. If you are a maintainer producing these reports, it is a straightforward quality control job. Build the 11 into form so that report cannot be submitted incomplete. If you are a duty holder receiving them, read one property this month against the 11. And if items are missing, go back to the supplier. You are the one carrying the consequences of a deficient record, not them. This is the question I get asked most, usually by an operator who has been told flatly that it is not allowed. The honest answer is more useful than that. L113 paragraph 298 says LOLER does not expressly produce the maintainer being the examiner. So the blanket you cannot is wrong. But paragraph 299 requires a documented risk assessment if you go that way. And that requirement is the part people skip. What is the risk being assessed? Independence of judgment. HSC's phrase for the standard expected of the examiner is that they act without fear or favor. 3 words worth writing on the wall of your office. Without fear, meaning they can record a defect that will be commercially awkward for their own employer. Without favor, meaning they gain nothing by not recording it. So if you are examining lifts your own firm maintains, your risk assessment has to answer 4 uncomfortable questions in writing, not just in your head. If the honest answers are that the same engineer maintains and examines reports to the service manager and it is measured on the job throughput, you have a documented problem rather than a documented control. Fix the structure or use third party. What you cannot do is skip the assessment and rely on paragraph 298 as a permission slip. Pull those three together and you get a set of records, not a set of opinions. Evidences you can hand over on the worst day, not just the processes you believe in your good one. None of that requires softwares to be true. All of it becomes much harder to hold together on a spreadsheet across a few hundred units and several engineers because the failure is never one missing document. It is the absence of anything that tells you document is missing. Three things to take away. The 28 days is ACOP L113 paragraph 359 and the regulation says as soon as it is practicable. There is no LOLER certificate, only a report of thorough examination carrying 11 particulars under Schedule 1 and your maintainer can examine as per paragraph 298 but the only with a documented risk assessment. Paragraph 299 asks for. Comment whether your own team examines what they maintain. I'm tracking how common that setup actually is across the industry. Hi, I'm Sumit Kataria, creator of ElevatorPlus. ElevatorPlus is elevator business operating system used by 200 plus elevator companies across 20 different countries. The full walkthrough is at elevatorplus.app. Link in description.